So I thought I would go over the new content planners that I've created. They are all fairly similar but slightly different. So I thought it was worth explaining what the differences are so you can decide yourself which is most appropriate for you. So the blog planner is the most basic one that I've done. So it literally is a way of recording your content. It allows you to move you through the statuses of creating that content. So from an idea stage into research, into writing, editing, scheduling, and publishing. So there's all statuses through there of which you can track. And so that keeps the essential idea is that it gives you control over what you're doing. You can see visibly what content you have, what content is on the go, what's been published, and what ideas you've got in the pipeline, so that you're never really lost for things to do. There's always something there to keep you interested. So this is the basic concept of the planners. Within it, you can define the categories of what your blog's going to be about. So there's main category, or then subcategories. So we've also got monetization. So if you have, for example, affiliate links that you want to put throughout your blog posts, you can store your links here and then link it to the blog post, so you always know where that link has been used, and if you need to change it, you can then get easy access to see what needs changing. So that was the idea of that section. And then really this one here is just about identifying your competitors, see what they're covering, so that you can identify what gaps there are for you to write your blog. So they're the basics of setting the blog up. Again, here we have an ideas section. So if you wanted to, if you had a new idea, this is a quick log, and it defaults the name to the template that's been used. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's just call it set, for want of a better example. It uses a template that's been set up here. Now that's set up as the default, of which you set the default by clicking on here. So the 3 dots and then set as default. When you first get your template, all of the default settings for templates are lost, so you do need to go through and update those for you. So if I now open this one that has just been created, that template gives you some examples of how to write some headlines, some checklists to go through to make sure that you cover everything within your blog post, and then some prep work to give you an idea of what you need to write about, ideas of what's needed there. So that's there as the template if you wanted to use it. Obviously you can then pick the subcategory, prioritize it if you want to, and create a post type. Again, these are just values that I've put in, but you can add in your own types of posts. So that's logging your idea. If we then look at all of the posts by status, we can see our ideas here, and if we then want to take it to the next step, we can move it along into next up. If we look here, we know it's in the status of next up, so that's where we want to do something more with it. And we could say that the next thing we want to do is do some research, and my research day is going to be the 15th of December. Taking into account we've got other things going here, so you can see what status the posts are in. You can then also see the actions that you need to do. So we've got these 2 posts here that are in research for tomorrow. We've got planned to write this post on the 16th, and we've got shooting photography for this one on December. So sometimes if you want to improve your productivity, it's best to group similar activities together. So that's one way of doing it. If you would prefer to see it in a calendar format, then again you're seeing all of the next action dates in this calendar. So we've got the 2 that's happening on the 15th here. and then the 16th and so on. If we decide actually I won't be able to research 2 in one go, so I'm going to move that till next Tuesday. We do that, and you will then see that date has been changed to the 20th there as well. So by using the calendar dates in that way, you can drag it and schedule it accordingly, using the next action dates on there. We also have a published calendar, so once you start progressing through, so let's take this one here is closest. The research is there, but the plan is that we're going to publish it on the 21st. So that's when I'm hoping that it will be ready. So if we then start planning out each of the posts that we do, you don't have to, but once you've got a published date then it will appear in this calendar here, the published calendar. So that may be only happens when you actually publish it, or you may have some posts in the pipeline that you can put the dates that you want to publish in the future, and then you can see how often you are publishing those posts. We have a published gallery, which is just if you put the pictures in, then you can see those pictures as well. We can do it by category, so the topics that you're doing in. So if you want to create an equal number of posts on all of the different categories that you want to do, then we can see it from there. And then finally the monetization, so it's seeing all of the blog posts by the different types of monetization that you've used. And that's pretty much it in this basic one here. It's just simply the blog planner, and that's it. You could change the blog to be any sort of content. It's just a lot of these, if I just open this up, a lot of these properties are based around blogs, but they are just types. So you could add a new property that is the social media channel and put in the channels that you want to post in. And therefore that would then give you the opportunity to record social media posts as well on here. So at the moment it's just I've set it up for blog posts, but it still can be added to and customised yourself so that you can build it up to be whatever's relevant. So that is the baseline one. Let's go up to the Blogger dashboard. This one is same functionality as previously, but it's just a little bit more in there. So we've got goals that you can track. We've got the to-do actions more in line with what's to do today. So this is again your next action step. What you can do today, this week, this month. It's the same setup as the previous one. It's just different views to display that data. That's all. So this is the main dashboard. So you can see the next actions. Again, next action calendar and the scheduled calendar, published and scheduled calendar. You can quickly log your ideas here if you wanted to in the navigation section, and that's available from whatever page you're in, so you can always jot down those ideas. We have a page that gives you a bit of information about picking your niche if you're just starting. This may not be relevant if you're already up and running, but it gives you ideas for how to pick a niche, what to look for, what your domain name will be. Again, monetization and competition is done in a similar way as the previous one. Then we've got goals tracker, so you can define your goals for, let's say, the year. Define those goals, whether it's traffic related, so we have a heap of traffic ideas that you could use. You fill in your worksheet as to what you want to do, what metrics you want to track, what your categories are, what content you will create, so same as previously. Any action steps you need to do to reach those goals, put in place, and then simply track the results. So once you've got the setup there, it's all about recording the metrics from then on. So once a year, do your setup for your goals, and then just check back in with your results at whatever frequency you've defined for your goals. So you can keep track of whether you're hitting those goals, whether they're traffic goals, whether they're consistency in posting or whatever. So we've got a goals tracker in there. Now the content planner is, again, similar to what we've already looked at in the blog post, but it's a page in its own right. So it's looking at the categories, it's a quick idea log, and then we've got the next action calendar, action type status. So these are the views that you saw previously, but just on another page, so separated out on another page. We also have a content tracker. So if you wanted to track your consistency of doing something, so if one of your goals was to create a blog post, one blog post every week, then you can create an item in the calendar to check that it's been done. It will automatically link it to a blog post, relate it to a blog post, and then you can check your completion rates from there. I'll cover in another video how the consistency tracker works. So don't worry about that too much at the moment, but that's included, which is over and above the base level blog planner. And then we have resources. So they're just odd tables that you may need for tracking or keeping hold of information on your blog. So keywords, tools, any inspiration that you may have. And again, that's where we are with that. So it's got a lot more content, for want of a better word, than the base blog planner. But the overall creation and managing your blog posts are pretty similar in both. So if you want to manage goals, if you want to track your consistency, then this is the one that you want. If you just want something that is going to allow you to log your content, create your content and manage it, then the base one will be adequate to do that. I also have a social media planner. So let's move on to that now. Again, this is, I'm going to say, pretty similar to the blogger dashboard that we've just seen. So it's got all of the goal tracking, the content tracking, the content tracking. So it's the look and feel of it is exactly the same. The only thing that we have different is that the properties that you would use, let's just create one, the properties that we have in the base content is more social media based. So we have channels that you can say you're posting on this social media, so this is what this post is about. Content type is appropriate for social media. You can obviously add in extra ones if you want them, and purpose is what you're trying to achieve from those posts and so on. So it's more based around social media, but how it works functionally is similar. We have a different type of template that you can use rather than the blog template, but the deal is the same. You need to define your defaults there. You can log your ideas, traffic and goals are same setup as before. So again, I will have another video on how to do the goals and set up the goals. So we won't concentrate on that here. Just know that you can do that within both the blogger dashboard and the social media dashboard. Content track is for consistency, and the resources that we have, again, similar to what we have in the blogger. This time we're managing hashtags and testimonials. So similar things, similar way that they work, just different slant on the type of properties that you're using because of the content difference in the two. And the final one, which may not seem like it's different at all, is the content dashboard. Now this one, I've got some data in here so you can see how the others would look. This one is, again, the same as either the blogger dashboard or the social media dashboard, but it's covering both. So the content that you can create could be a blog, as you can see here. It could be YouTube videos. It could be social media posts. And so the properties within that item has different types of options to select. So it's just been set up for both types to allow you the flexibility. And you can create relationships between the content articles. So in this case, we have a blog post and it's related to Instagram post about that blog post. So you can always go to an article, a simple editorial article, and see how many times you've promoted it on social media if you create that relationship. So we have that set up. So the structure and how it looks is exactly the same. It looks slightly different in this one because I have got some data in it. But we've got the goals, we've got the pick your niche if you're a blogger or a YouTuber or whatever. We've got the goals tracker. Again, I'll do another video on how to set up the goals. Content planner, your basic thing for planning your content and looking at your published content, exactly the same as the other. But this will show both post editorial content and social media content. Content tracker, again, for consistency. I'll do another video on how to use this. And the resources has the merged resources that you might need for both social media and blogging. So keywords, hashtags, testimonials, etc. So there are some slight variances between each of the planners, and it really depends what you need and what you want to do. You could just take the basic one and build it to your own needs, or you could take this one and it's there ready to go for both social media and blog posts, and you're good to go to hit the ground running with everything you need to manage your content.